Outsourcing jobs, that's not community partner. Unfair labor practices, retaliation to workers, and when this happens, we come together in solidarity. And part of that solidarity is bringing in attorneys that know the law. Attorney Lester Pines, who is senior counsel at Pinesbach LLP, who has represented OPEIU Local 39 for decades. And if there's one person who can advocate for workers and know the law, it's Lester Pines, because he believes in it. Lester?
Well, thank you for that very kind introduction. And I want to say that we're here because of a ULP, numerous ULPs, unfair labor practices. They're called unfair labor practices because a corporation like TruStage, wait a second, did they just sort of convert themselves into a concert promoter? A corporation like CUNA Mutual Financial Group has a legal obligation to engage in fair labor practices. They know what those fair labor practices are. And when they don't engage in them, they are violating the law. The National Labor Relations Act, which was enacted in 1936 and which governs the relationship between your union and CUNA, makes it clear that both sides, but particularly employers, have to be scrupulous and engage in fair negotiations. One of the things about fair negotiations is that the employer has to provide information to the union when the union requests it, in order for the union to put together proposals that are sensible and that are fair. And what has CUNA Mutual done? CUNA Mutual, for years, has stonewalled the union. For years, perhaps decades, while it has surreptitiously and deliberately violated the contracts and added contractors into work which is union work with individuals who should be in the union. But they have continued to play this game of saying that they were cooperating, kind of cooperating, but never cooperating. And they have escalated this tactic and escalated it and escalated down to other tactics of retaliating against the most important union leader on trumped up charges. Now, CUNA Mutual has this wonderful reputation in the community. It's a community citizen. It loves Madison, and Madison loves CUNA because CUNA is so good. That is a subterfuge. That is gaslighting. CUNA Mutual has turned into a rapacious corporation like many other rapacious corporations that deal unfairly with its employees. And we have before the National Labor Relations Board numerous charges that support our claim that CUNA Mutual has engaged in unfair labor practices, and we are going to move forward with those charges. But you know, the National Labor Relations Board of all federal agencies is probably the most underworked and most understaffed. So while we can say, all right, we've got lawyers and we've got union leaders who are going to go to the NLRB, what's going to bring CUNA Mutual to the table because of their unfairness is your solidarity. Because the one thing we know about collective bargaining is about economic power. The company has its economic power because it's in the employer and it pays you. You have economic power because you can withhold your labor, and you can do that legally, and it's not an unfair labor practice to do that. And if you want to know why I said that CUNA Mutual has now begun to, and has now for years and perhaps decades, been acting like a rapacious corporation, who are the lawyers that CUNA has at the table? Who are the lawyers? All right? I'll tell you the names of the firms. I want to make sure that I get them exactly right. They are Jackson Lewis and Ogletree Deakins. Now, I'm asking the media here, go on the internet. Now, everything on the internet isn't true, okay? But if you go on the internet and you look up union-busting law firms, you're going to find that Jackson Lewis and Ogletree Deakins are among the top 3, and they're probably the top 2. So if you're a good corporate citizen, and you love Madison, and you want good relations with your workers, you don't bring in the biggest union-busting law firms in the country. All right? You have the power. You have the law behind you. But remember this, the people united will never be defeated. Amen. Solidarity forever. You can do this. We will help. I want to recognize my colleague Eduardo Castro, who's here with me tonight. He's one of the young lawyers in our firm. He's going to be with you for a long time. He's with you during this strike. The rest of us are with you. You're going to do it. We want fairness. We want honesty. We want decency. You have to demand it, and you're going to get it. Thank you.